great morning from the West Coast, Southern California. We live in Chino Hills, so that's the Inland Empire. We service most of Southern California because we run a showing model. However, our main focus is the Inland Empire, Orange County, and parts of Los Angeles. And I've been licensed since 2013. I was dual career though. I went full time into real estate June of 2019. And by December of 2019, I was in the top 3 for closed production and units in our office. So I really truly hit the ground running in between transitioning from a makeup career to full time into real estate.
Okay, now see, I didn't know you said makeup career. God dang it. How did I not know that? Okay, well, thanks for sharing. So tell me, how does a makeup career help and or support you on this side of the fence? What are
That's a
the
really good question. So, living in the Inland Empire, I decided when I was doing makeup that I wanted to go where we say where the money resides, and that was Orange County. So, I started doing makeup there for those women. I mean, we had the Orange County housewives, it was that caliber of person. And so, in doing so, having conversations with them, it would always come up, wow, you seem you seem, how can I say, there seems like there's more to you than just a makeup artist. Is there anything else that you do? And I would say, oh, well, I have my real estate license. Oh, well, how's that going for you? And then it kind of just started to trickle into, deals here and there. And then I ended up joining Keller Williams in Yorba Linda, Anaheim Hills, which is in Orange County, California. And that's actually how I first met Brian, ironically. That's a whole nother story. And so that's how that transition from makeup to real estate happened. Is one of the ladies I was doing her makeup, she worked for Keller Williams. She's who brought me to KW.
Fantastic, fantastic. So again, that helped you get connected. And so boom, then you meet Brian and the rest is history or what?
There's a lot in between that. And yes, we can come back for another Zoom on that. There was about a 4-year gap in between we reconnected.
And so the dynamics, so you and Brian, you meet and you fall in love and here you go. And so you guys form this partnership. And so describe for us, what does that look like? Because I think for me, it's interesting to hear, because you had mentioned yesterday, I mean, there's certain things that you don't like to do. And I think Brian you're maybe more front facing and he's behind the scenes with systems and tools. And if so, describe that for us.
Yes. So I am the face of the team. I run the sales division. I am the rainmaker. Brian's focus, as he's a bold coach. So he's on the leadership, ownership side, OP. And I call him my Wizard of Oz because he handles all of the behind the scenes things that I hate doing. And I use that hate word strongly. Getting our systems in place. I mean, we have checklists in command from day one to closing that our ISAs go through to make sure my transactions, my clients are moved through the process streamlined. And I believe if you take actually one of Brian's courses, he allows you to download that that checklist. It's helped our business tremendously, as well as we're really, really big on education. We've built our business on teaching. And so what we'll do is we'll record a webinar, and then we do it on a platform that allows us to repeat that webinar and play for customers. And the cool thing about it is we can actually go in, and even though it's being replayed, we can talk to the people who are watching in that moment. So we can log in, they're watching it as if it's live, and we can still have the opportunity to chat with them. And that's been game changer for us, because if they can't catch the live version, I will get you the name. Again, he's the Wizard of Oz. I know the systems. I will get you the name and I'll send it to Ben, and I trust he'll get it out to you.
All day, every day. ESG, my boy. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. What in the world? I want that.
Yes, so right now we have house hacking to wealth. And so we're teaching people how you buy your first property and then use the equity to buy the next and the next and the next. And that's one of the ones that we have going on right now, as well as our home buying mastery for first time buyers. And then our third webinar that we have going on right now is buying a home with little to no money down. And we have a lender partner on there. And so we're discussing different loan programs for, first time buyers, FHA, VA, down payment assistance. And the cool thing about having a lender on there is I like to stay in my lane. And so questions that you may have that are above me as far as on the loan side, the lender was right there, to answer. So it was a wonderful Zoom. So we have those going. They replay on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And again, we can see if someone's logged in. We'll jump on the platform. We'll get in there and chat with them. And then we're able to set an appointment after to have the actual one-on-one consultation with them, whether they're buying, selling, or investing.
Well, I'm hearing, like we talked about, I think that for you and I, education is it's just paramount. And I'd say educating our community, because I feel like we were a little late to the game, and yet we're playing catch up and doing it very rapidly. So I feel and see a passion, even in just the classes that you guys are hosting, and
Yes.
and helping the community, not just California Chino Hills. I think people who look like you and I, and outside of that, get in this game and build wealth through real estate. I feel the passion for that for you. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
Yeah. Well, I know that in a bio it said that you're also an educator. I think that also just goes hand in hand with trying to help people and educate. Besides, and I know there's community service. What does that look like for you guys? Because I know that you guys are huge in giving back also.
Yes, we do a lot of events. That's truly our passion and our way to give back. And it starts with our clients. And so we do a lot of client facing events. That's how we've built, our personal relationships with them, whether we're treating them to, a Lakers game or a concert. I think sometimes in this business, it's very, very easy to be disconnected. Agents may have the mindset of turn and burn, closing and then they move on. However, we tell our clients, you're not just our clients, you become our family and you're stuck. I always say you're stuck with us for life because, again, our goal is to help you build wealth through real estate. And so when you close on that first house, now we're getting you set up with our trust advisors. We're getting you set up with life insurance to make sure that your property's, protected. And then we go from there. So they become our family. So events are important to us, as well as we like to do things for kids and give back. So the last event that we did was we sponsored a youth basketball camp with LA Clippers Paul George. And so giving, those children an opportunity to come out, play basketball with a mega star. And yet also it was an opportunity to, connect with my husband's community that he grew up with. So he and Paul grew up in Palmdale, California. And so it went full circle, for him, especially, both of them being able to give back where, they grew up. And then just to see the smile on the kid's face and then, the gratitude from the parents, that is why we do what we do. It's those moments right there to be able to be in a position to do that.
And I know you guys get as much or even more than the families you serve and the kids that attended. I know on my events, I'm the same way. So you mentioned, let me ask you this, Lakers, Clippers.
I know. I know. We had to put the pride aside for that moment and support the Clippers. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little hard. It was a little
Okay.
hard.
Okay.
And
So
yet
you're Lakers then, huh?
we are Lakers all day, every day.
Okay.
However, again, the mission was bigger than the sports team.
Amen. Amen. I had to ask. I had to ask. Yeah. So again, I'm a Maverick supporter and season ticket holder, so I completely understand. So let's go. How about touching briefly on I'd say not just some of the awards, but the equity and inclusion, because I see that on your bio. Touch on that briefly for the audience. What does that look like? And what does that mean to you?
That's a really good question. So this year when I was working on, my business plan, I told my coach that, my mission, and I was very clear about this, is to help Black people build wealth through real estate. And, it was kind of, you could see the jolting moment. And I said, listen, hear me out. And I wanted to bring Keller Williams social equity back into this. Gary Keller made it very clear that social equity task force was to assist Black people first, and then it will trickle down to other people, other demographics that need our help as well. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop servicing any and everyone else. And yet when you have a mission, you have a focus to help people who have been demarginalized because the wealth gap is so huge, then that also helps them trickle down that wealth to the rest of their family. And so when you have a mission you put forth to assist in that way, you're going to continue to be blessed because you're helping those that may be less fortunate and not given the opportunities that a lot of us have. So that's important too.
Well, that's powerful. And I think everyone on this call, I mean, I know Stephen, Richie, that don't necessarily have the beautiful hue that you and I have. It's important to us all that, that there's so many people that need to be served. And I know Kenneth, as I see, and Nicole, we don't give a darn. We love serving people and helping people of all shapes and sizes. But like the point that Gary has made, if we start with those that have been at the bottom and demarginalized and help them raise up, then you know what? Then our Asian, our Indian Americans, Pacific Americans, Irish Americans, everybody will be lifted as the bottom is raised up. So again, I love the leadership of this firm and so many others out there, and leaders like you and Brian there in Chino Hills. I'm just so fortunate and blessed to know you guys and Christy, who's jumped on. Christy, I gave you some flowers because this relationship here was strengthened by you and David's effort to just put a small group of professionals together. So thank you for that. And one day we're going to hear from that leader who they're kicking big tail in the Arizona area. So tell me something about you that most would not be aware of. And so this one is, it might be tough because I think on the surface there's so many things that people know about you. I mean, they can look you up, they can Google you, but tell me something that I don't know that wouldn't be easily found in the system.
I'm a cancer survivor, and it took me a while to actually talk about it because I never wanted to be anybody's charity case. I didn't want you to be my friend because you knew I was sick. I didn't want you to only work with me because you thought I was, ill. And I had to shift my mindset and live in gratitude. And what changed for me to shift from that mindset into living into gratitude that I'm still here is I was actually in a really bad car accident, and the PT rep, she was sad one day, and I asked her, hey, what's going on? She said my sister has cancer, she's not doing well. And I asked her, I said, well, do you mind me asking what type? And it was the same cancer that I had. The acronym is DFSP. It's a malignant sarcoma. It's very rare and very dangerous because it attacks bone and muscle. And so, I told her, oh, you have to go to my oncologist. He specializes in this. I gave numbers. I was like, I'm praying for your sister. Fast forward a month later, this PT tech wasn't there anymore. And I asked, what happened to her? Where is she? And, unfortunately, her sister passed away, and she didn't have the ability to have great medical insurance. She wasn't able to see, top doctors. And that was the moment that changed for me is, God, not only was I blessed to be able to beat this, and yet I didn't even realize how even more blessed I was to have medical insurance. And then take it another level to be able to have the top oncologist who specialized in this type of cancer that was what changed it for me. And the scar that I had from the cancer, I used to paint it with body makeup because I hated people asking me what happened to me. Not anymore. I started washing that out. I was rocking that scar free and clear. I was happy. I was proud. And that's probably one thing that I still don't talk about as much. And yet, if it comes up, I'll bring it up because I think it's important to people to know, hey, it's not all glitz and glam, and life hasn't been rainbows and sunshine for me. However, here I am, and I'm alive and well, and I'm blessed.
Wow. Wow. I don't know why I even asked that question because I had no idea, right? But again, I think that well, just stay in curiosity, right? Well, and again, I appreciate you sharing that because I think we all have so many stories that that we've I don't know we've kept from others because either we're not proud of it, we're embarrassed, we're ashamed. Again, I think that that I personally never want to be, I guess, the victim. I guess maybe that's not the right adjective that I'm looking
No,
for.
I think that's kind of where my mindset was too, where I said I didn't want a pity party.
Right.
You didn't want to feel like a victim or, have people only like again come around because of they heard something tragic about you.
Well, again, it resonates with me because in losing a child, my wife, she chose not to go to her high school reunion because she didn't want that to be just the main topic of conversation. Like, girl, how are you doing? How are you surviving? And so I thought she should have gone, but she elected not to go because she didn't want to put herself in that position. But for me, I'm a little different. I talk about Ben every day, and so I think I show my scar like you. I show it proudly that I was able to, again, still be here. And that was probably sensitive, but I really appreciate you sharing that. So, and I'm glad I asked. I could, because I know that it strengthened and it's made you who you are, right? And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you stand up so proudly and you shine and your light is so bright. And I told you, 20 minutes, 25 minutes will go like that. And it has. So, from a business standpoint, leave us with, one or two things besides this platform, which I've already had three people go, Ben, I
I
want that,
got you. I got you
right?
guys.
And I know you'll share that with me, and I'll make damn sure that everyone here that we get that information out to you.
As soon as I
So
hang up, I would say, Brian, okay, everyone's asking me, what is that platform?
bring it. So give us one piece of business advice as we start 2024. And I think for many, 2023 was challenging, and it was for me. But I'm really excited about 24. Some of it, and I'd say most of it for me is just mental, right? There
Yeah.
isn't a lot of things different that I'm doing. There's one or two pillars. But is there something that you guys are doing or something that you're having besides that platform that you guys are having success with that you can share that maybe someone else can benefit from?
I will start with this. I think in this business, it's very, fast paced, and we don't take a beat to focus on ourselves, our mind, our body, our souls. And so getting back to wellness is what's going to grow our business. And so if we're in the morning, doing yoga, we're praying, we're meditating, we're making sure that we're working out. We have we got meal prep going on to make sure that we are eating. Sometimes you could be so busy, especially me. I care for our daughter at home full time. So I work and care for her at the same time. So just making sure we have, time to eat. And also, we found a good church by us. So making sure that we're getting that spiritual healing. Wellness is going to be the key for anything else because if you're not right, how can you service your clients at the best of your ability? And then the other thing I would say, and I say this very often, and yet it's very true to me, is stay learning based. You don't know what you don't know. And especially coming out of 2023, where, not everyone was doing the best, take the time to get back to the basics. Start from scratch because you never know in the time that you've been doing well, you've been killing it, what you forgot to lean back into that you were doing from the beginning that got your business going to where you are now. get back to the basics, stay learning based. And I will say, for me, it's always important to take classes and courses where I don't reside, because I have the opportunity to meet different agents from different backgrounds. And that way I can learn from you and things that I wouldn't have learned, because sometimes, you become a product of your environment. Everyone speaks the same, they operate the same. And so I'll take bold in different cities. I've gone to different states for classes, and that's how Ben and we got to connect in Arizona. And and Christy, that's her stomping grounds. And yet that's important to me, is to get face to face with agents outside of even classes. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what makes you successful. Tell me what gets you going, your passion, so that I can bring that back and I can learn and grow from you.
Powerful, powerful. And again, I love the fact that every picture I see on this screen, I think I know most of you guys, I feel like personally, and we're all 100% on board with that. We're all learning based, and we want to continue to learn and grow. And I'm fortunate in our Dallas Preston Road office, my buddy who you'll see on the screen there, Stephen, whose office is right next to me. Mercedes, that guy there. We created what we call conversations in the hallway. Because we tell people that the best training at our office is seldom ever in the training room. It's the conversations we have in the hallway, at the coffee pot, right, in the parking lot. That's where we learn and grow. So I appreciate my brother for always being willing, and everyone here who's so learning based. And I appreciate you. I'm so looking forward to seeing you in just over a month, and many of you on the call. I know, Kenneth, I know we've already talked, man. So we've got big plans. And again, I think we need to take some time to also slow down and really try to strengthen these relationships, because in the words of one of my mentors is Emmerich Peace, who I think everyone here knows. I've heard Emmerich say that relationships can take you places that money can't, and
Yeah.
and so these relationships are so important, and let's continue to lean in and pour into each other. So, guys, I'm so fortunate and blessed, and thank you for sharing just a few minutes. See, boom, 25 minutes like that, right? There it is. There it is. We were worried. So, are you good, or is there one more nugget that you want to drop?
I'm just grateful for you all taking the time to spend the morning with me. And I trust that I will see you all at family reunion. And Ben has my contact. So if you ever need anything on the West Coast, I got you.
Yeah, and we will get that out. And you get on Brian, because I've got folks that are so excited. Man. They're like, "Oh, that's
I will
good."
talk to my lovely Wizard of Oz who does all the systems. I got you.